Today I want to show you how to de-preserve engine which was in long storage. Long storage means more than 30 days. So today I would like to show you this task. First thing first, we need to remove all covers, everything which was plugged. We need to unplug, and we're starting from the front. And as you can see, even the vent holes on the inlet protection are plugged. The reason for it is to keep moisture out of the engine, because moisture can create corrosion, and that we want to avoid. Then we need to remove moisture barriers. And once I'm done with the intake, I need to move to the back, which means that I need to remove covers from the cold stream of the sea duct and as well from the exhaust. Inside of the exhaust we have as well bags with desiccant, which we of course need to remove. And whenever engine is unpacked, we need to open fan coils on both sides and as well sea ducts, because we have there few more inspections, but for de-preservation we need to open only fan coils, but you will see that in a second. As a next, we need to drain the oil tank and then accessory gearbox and transfer gearbox. It's a quite simple task. There is a safety wire which prevents losing. We need to open the tank, so we have air which will get in, and just simply we'll lose the plug. There is around 20 liters inside, so it's good to be ready. I have 3 buckets with me, so hopefully it will be enough. And there we go. And since first bucket is full, I need to transfer the second one under the stream, and it is always fun, as you can see. And this is the third one, but it is almost not necessary. That's number 2, full. And number 3 should be the very last one. Yeah, it's done. So 20 liters it is. That was the first part. Now we'll replace the O-ring on the plug and we can install it back. So we'll replace the O-ring. At the moment I'm replacing the O-ring, but all the time somebody passed by and asked me something, so I need to overvoice it. Okay, a bit of cleaning. And we can install the drain plug back. It should go by hand. And then we need to torque it. Okay. Happy?
New O-ring, I assume you put?
New O-ring, this is the old one.
Okay, very good.
And this is the back from it. So,
Carry on.
oh, there was your duplicate inspection. Now, safety cable, and I will call my colleague then again. And since camera is far away from this procedure, I'll just speed it up because you will see anyway nothing. Good. So now we can move to AGB and TGB. Here we have our accessory gearbox. On it you can find all components like starter, IDG, hydraulic unit, oil pump, which is basically lubrication unit, all those vital components, which is driven by the AGB itself, is driven through the TGB from N2 shaft, and inside of this should be maximally 5 liters, I think. Yeah. Okay, this is our drain plug. Here is our new O-ring, which will lubricate. And now for this you should use a guide cone, let's say. So you put it on, put the O-ring on it, and slide it in. Yes, you can. With this tool, basically you prevent damaging of the seal. Thanks to this cone, it will slide over and it will jump directly behind the thread, so there is no chance that something will happen to the O-ring. So this tool you should always use for this drain port. Okay, so installed, lubricated, and I use the tool for installation. Huh? And now I need it. This, it's 185 to 205.
Yeah.
I use 190.
I use 200.
Okay.
Yep.
Happy?
Happy.
Good. So, lock wiring. Then I will go to TGB. Okay, thank you. And the lock wiring. So, from accessory gearbox. And the plug. Through the other hole. Pushing through the tool.
It's no problem, huh?
No, for me, no. It's okay. Good. So, there is a tension. And you're losing this way. So, it is correctly set. Good. Next, TGB. Regarding TGB, which is over here, we have one small problem. Because when you look at it, TGB, drain port is over here. And there is not that much space. So to get there, you need to remove this pipe all the way there, and then you can fit their curve foot, and with a curve foot you can remove it. So I'll start with removal of this pipe. And this is actually fuel servo drain tube, which leads to the core. To remove it, we need to lose 3 unions and 1 clamp. It's quite easy and it saves you a lot of problems. Leads to drain mast over here. We need it for leak checks, and basically thanks to that we know that there is some leak. So now, as you can see, I have nice access to TGB drain port. Without that pipe, it will be impossible. So, and this one should be very small amount. Take bucket where is not that much oil. Okay, it's out, and oil is flowing. There should be like 2 to 3 liters, not that much. So, new O-ring, old O-ring. I'll move that one out. New one. We'll lubricate this O-ring, and again our guiding tool. O-ring slide over, and there you have it. Yeah, it's very easy, and you will not gonna damage O-ring. Okay, everything is lubricate it, we can install the plug. Good. We can tight it. Try one more. Great. So that was TGB installed. Now we can install the safety cable, and then we'll move with our pipe. So installation and torque. Somebody start the APU for us, so it will be very nice environment working. This. That's it. Now, pipe.
Here is actually proof that I'm not really focusing on the camera, I'm focusing on the work, so you don't really see anything, but I tied it and torque it, of course.
All that's remaining is to fill the system. Oh, we need to input like 24 cans, I think. Let's see. I have 20 open, and then we'll see. That's one.
Actually, total tank volume is 24 quarts, which is 22.7 liters, but I was able to put in only 21 cans. But of course, after first run up, we need to fill it again because the oil will gonna be distributed.
Okay.
And I got few more tasks to inspect on the engine, but this is not really part of deep preservation. But since they have something to do with the engine oil, I want to show you. This exactly is master chip detector. It is responsible to collect any kind of magnetic particles, and once they're collected, they will trigger the pop-out indicator, and thanks to that we know that we need to perform inspection, but our was clean.
Happy. Okay, now starter.
Different component, same procedure. This is starter, and on it we need to inspect as well chip detector. And since we found nothing again, we will proceed further.
Muy bueno.
Yeah. Okay. So new O-rings.
Yeah, and the
Yeah. So
now they give it to the next one.
yes. So that's it.
And we are done with all inspections, so we can inspect the core, and after that we can close the C ducts. And from all engines which you can find on A320, these ones are the easiest to close. And after reactivation of hydraulic control unit of the reversers, we can close also the fan coils.
So now we're gonna make wet motoring, and for that we need to pull some CVs. Both engines, wet motoring and APU auto extinguishing.
And meanwhile you're watching me preparing the airplane, let me explain why we need to make wet motoring. During preservation of the engine, we need to replace fuel with a preservation fluid. And because of the preservation procedure, we need to replace again this fluid with the fuel. And exactly for that, we're gonna perform wet motoring, because we will basically start to rotate the engine, and with the master lever, we'll inject the fuel inside of the system, which will flush the system. And before this test, you saw me that I pulled CBs for ignition system, thanks to which we can be sure that we're not gonna ignite the fuel, even though we have a mode selector in the crank, not in the star.
Crank, yes. APU bleed on, beacon on. Engine 1, crank, set.
Now I just need to wait until N2 speed reach between 15 to 20%, then I'll engage master lever, which will allow fuel flow inside of the engine. After a few seconds I'll move master switch to off position, which will stop fuel flow, and it will close starter valve.
Waiting for the drop.
Now we just need to wait until N2 speed drops below 10%, then ECU reset, and it will trigger dry motoring, which means the starter valve open again, and we will remove all remaining fuel from the engine.
Up we go!
Now it's dry, yeah?
Yes, this is dry crank.
Yeah.
First one for 60 seconds.
Blow the filler.
Yes.
And after 60 seconds I need to manually close starter valve, which will stop the procedure.
Okay, now we change configuration to dry crank, which means it will close CBs for ignition.
Then I'll pull CBs for low pressure fuel valves, and that will allow fuel enter inside of the engine. Reason behind this, that fuel is used as a hydraulic fluid for engine components.
Beacon, crank, set. You want?
And dry crank is very similar to wet crank. The difference is that we just don't inject the fuel into the combustion chamber. This procedure is performed only to remove all remaining fuel from combustion chamber.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Manual start is disengaged, and when N2 speed drops below 20%, I will switch off the beacons, which will give signal to my colleagues outside that they can approach the airplane. And as a last procedure, we need to perform full thrust reverser cycle, which means that we need to deploy thrust reversers and of course stow them.
So that was engine depreservation. If you have any questions, please write them down in the comments below. As always, I would like to ask you to don't use this as a replacement for your maintenance manual, but always use latest documentation released by manufacturer. Big thanks again to Austrian that they let me to record those videos so you can see what is going on with the airplanes during night. That's all from my side. My name is Tomáš, this was Aircraft Maintenance with Zeto, and I will see you on next video. Bye.